Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Mistlands content update preview. Today I've got a screenshot for you that does actually show in more detail some of the stuff that I discussed in my Everything We Know About the Mistlands video. You should check that out with a card at the top right screen if you haven't seen that yet. So we're going to start to break down this image here and check out what's new. First up, we're going to talk about the lanterns on the side of this abandoned structure here. These are looking very cozy. I'm sure they're going to be expensive to build, maybe even they require a chain. But they're looking very nice. Believe it or not, this was shown on Twitter back in April, but I didn't include it in my video because it seemed a bit like a side project from one of the developers, like something else that they weren't working on, like Valheim. So I didn't include it for that reason, but it looks like we're getting an all-new wall-mounted lantern. That's nice. I'm not going to wait until the very end to talk about the elephant in the room. Yes, it looks like we're getting a brand new axe of some sort. If you ask me, it honestly looks a bit dwarven, but it's really cool looking. I like the yellow, it looks really cool. So, moving on, we're going to talk about the fungi over in the far left-hand side of the screen. Now, this is the first image that we're seeing of the actual model in the world, and it is gigantic. It looks like it's almost as tall as a player. This is the first image we're seeing of any sort of new plant for the Mistlands in-game, which is really nice. We have seen the concept art for these in the past, but it's nice to see the real model and it really being there, ready to go. Looks great, and I can't wait to see what we're going to be able to cook with this. I just want to briefly mention this entire structure in general. It's looking a lot more weathered from the first time we saw it. It's getting a lot more decay put onto it. And if you take a look at the copper brace, it's definitely copper. If you take a look really closely here, you can see the greens coming out because it's just been sat there for so long. So generally speaking, it's looking super cool and decayed here. Moving over to the right-hand side of the screen, we've got this interesting looking pre-made lantern build. I don't know how to explain it. It looks very interesting though. So it can be broken down into building blocks. It looks like we're going to be able to build these anyway. However, what's very interesting about this is the top half of the build. You can see, first of all, we've got these interesting looking posts. We've got 4 of them, which is holding up the top of the, the top pyramid, I guess, that goes on top of the build. And it's very interesting to see this. It's a very thin looking post, and there's 4 of them here. So maybe we're going to get beams and posts like we already do for iron. That would be very interesting indeed. The second interesting thing about this build is what's inside. Now, from what I can see, first of all, it has fireflies around the whole top half, right? But the thing is, the inside looks different. It glows a lot more blue, and I think there is something in there that we haven't seen yet. I don't know, the one on the inside just looks completely different to all the other fireflies. I don't think it's another firefly. I think this is its own standalone object that is housed by this entire build. So let me know what you think about that in the comments below. Moving over to the middle of the picture right here, we do have the ward in the center of the build. I think that is just perhaps a demonstration that these are buildables. I don't think anything is different about this ward. It looks to be identical to the one that's in the game currently. I just thought that it's very interesting that they would add this. Maybe they're just demonstrating that, hey, you can make this your base. I don't know, I just thought that was a very interesting thing to mention in the video. Also, I just want to briefly mention this thing right here. At first, it got me very confused at what that could be, but after looking at it for a little while, it's basically the bottom of a lantern that's on the inside of the structure. I was scratching my head for a little while thinking, what on earth could this be? But it is just a lantern. So anyhow, that's everything I've got for you for today with Valheim Mistlands news. If you want to keep up to date, don't forget to get subscribed, like the video to show the support for the channel. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you next time.